Before voice chat, before matchmaking, before global service, gaming had a different ritual. You packed your computer into the car, you carried cables, monitors, keyboards, and you showed up. Because if you wanted to play together, you had to be in the same room. LAN parties weren't just a way to play games, they were a culture, a gathering, a moment in gaming history. But today, that culture has almost disappeared. So the question is simple: what happened to LAN parties? To understand LAN parties, we have to go back to the early days of PC multiplayer. In the 1990s, online gaming barely existed. Dial-up internet was slow, connections were unstable, latency could ruin entire matches. So, developers offered another solution: local area network multiplayer, or simply LAN. Computers connected directly through a network switch. No internet required, no distant servers, just machines in the same room. The result was something revolutionary: multiplayer without delay. Suddenly, fast-paced competitive games were possible. Players could fight each other in real time. The response was immediate and incredibly fun. But LAN multiplayer created something unexpected. Because once players discovered this, they started gathering in the same physical space. Living rooms, dormitories, basements, computer labs, and slowly, LAN parties were born. By the late 1990s, LAN parties had evolved into something bigger. They were no longer just small gatherings, they became events. Dozens of players, sometimes hundreds, everyone bringing their own computer, everyone plugging into the same network. The room would fill with humming fans, blinking LEDs and the glow of monitors. Matches happened constantly, tournaments emerged, rivalries formed, communities grew, and a generation of multiplayer culture took shape. But LAN parties were about more than competition. They were intensely social. You could hear your opponent react in real time. You could celebrate wins together, trash talk face to face. This physical presence created something modern online play rarely captures: shared atmosphere, shared excitement, shared memory. LAN parties were not just multiplayer, they were multiplayer culture. Then something changed. Internet infrastructure improved. Broadband replaced dial-up. Connections became stable, speeds increased, and game developers began building something new: online ecosystems. Services like Battle.net allowed players to connect across the world. Consoles followed. When Xbox Live launched in 2002, it introduced something transformative: seamless online matchmaking, voice communication, persistent player identities. Suddenly, you didn't need to carry your computer across town. You could play from home. Convenience changed everything. LAN parties required effort, transportation, setup, planning. Online gaming removed those barriers. Click, match found, game begins. The experience became faster, more accessible, and infinitely scalable. As multiplayer moved online, something subtle began to disappear: the physical gathering, the ritual. LAN parties were never just about playing games. They were about showing up, spending an entire night in the same room, sharing energy, sharing noise, sharing the moment. Online gaming replaced this with efficiency, and efficiency wins every time. Matchmaking systems removed friction, but they also removed proximity. Voice chat replaced shouting across desks. Digital friends lists replaced physical gatherings. Gaming remained social, but it became distant, and slowly, LAN culture faded into the background. But LAN parties never completely disappeared. Some events survived, and even expanded. Festivals like DreamHack became massive international gatherings. Thousands of players, massive esports tournaments, entire arenas filled with computers. Yet, these events represent something different. They are spectacles, large-scale productions, not improvised LAN gatherings of the past. The basement networks, the dorm room tournaments, the late-night pizza-fueled competitions. That culture is far rarer today. LAN parties disappeared quietly, not because they failed, but because the world around them changed. Technology made gaming easier, more connected, more accessible, and that transformation reshaped how we play. But something from that era still lingers. The memory of a room filled with computers, the sound of fans and keyboards, the laughter after a hard-fought match. For a generation of players, that wasn't just multiplayer. It was a moment in gaming history, a moment where competition, community and technology all met in the same room, and for a brief time, that room was the center of gaming itself. New case files release every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.